This sermon is on, is it better to be married or single? Well, that is a choice you're going to have to make. In the eyes of God, He doesn't care what you do. That's all up to you. Now, if you get married, you're going to have trouble. Now, if you do not get married, you have more time for yourself and you can do more things for the kingdom of God. But if you do get married, you have sex. That's not a bad word to talk about as you're married. Anyway, if you're not married, you won't have that. But you can have all the time to yourself and you can do more for the kingdom of God. And then you don't have to have a big house. You do not have to always have a car, but you can if you want. And you can look after yourself and you will have nothing else to worry about yourself. But if you're married, you have the kids to look after. You have to have a house for them. You have to have a van or car to drive them around. You must have to feed them. You must have to clothe them. You must have to look after your wife. You must learn to treat her nice. But if you're by yourself, it's either whatever you want. Now, if you want to be if you do want to get married, don't go out looking for a mate because you will get the wrong one. Wait until God brings you the right one. Wait until God brings you the right one. And do not get in a hurry. And as you're waiting, get prepared. Learn to become a real man. Go online, get some teachings by some preachers on how to be a good man and how to be a good husband. And learn about marriage before you get married. And if you learn about marriage before you get married, it'll be easier for you. And if you do get married and you want to be a family man, that's okay too. Now, if you're going to get married, don't run after the first one that comes. Don't run after them. And the Bible says when you do marry, you must marry someone who is a Christian. You must marry someone who is a Christian. Because the Bible says be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Because if you get married to someone who is not a Christian, it will not work. And it will not work. A lot of people, they go rushing after the first one that comes around and they get married and they lose out and get a divorce. So wait for the right one to come past for you and God will bring you the right one. And spend time feeding and having time with God, developing your relationship with God and learning about the Bible, learning about marriage, learning how to get the gospel out, doing the things of God, and have time. Start saving up money, start putting money aside, and get prepared. And when you want to find a perfect mate, the way you do it is write down all the characteristics that you want in a mate. And when you find the right one that comes along to you and have all those characteristics, you have the perfect mate. Now, if one mistake I made when I got married, my wife had a list of things that she wanted in a marriage, and everything that she had on the list, I had, except one. So it wasn't a perfect mate. But if you write down all the characteristics you want in a mate, and when they all have every characteristic that I have written down when you get married or before you get married, that is a perfect mate. So listen, so important. Don't get in a hurry. Now, don't get involved in pornography because that is terrible. And you do not want to be hooked on that stuff, especially when you get married. And if you are married, don't get involved with that. I used to struggle with that for a long time. I'm totally free now, and I have no desire for it. For a long time, I struggled with perversion, really gross stuff, and it was a problem for me. But now I'm totally free, and now my wife's a lot happier now, and yeah. Thanks for listening. Remember, Jesus is Lord.